Have you ever told a software engineer something and they immediately start explaining why you're wrong? Even if the topic has absolutely nothing to do with coding. You might say something simple like, the internet is slow today, and suddenly you're getting a full breakdown about DNS servers, latency, and packet loss.
You need to shut the fuck up.
And you're just standing there thinking, I was just making conversation. So why does this happen so often with software engineers? It's actually less about ego and more about how programming trains your brain. In programming, things aren't kind of correct. They're either correct or they're broken. A single missing character can stop an entire program from running. One small mistake, and the whole thing crashes. So software engineers spend years training themselves to constantly look for errors, inconsistencies, and tiny details that don't quite add up. After a while, that way of thinking becomes automatic. You stop just listening to information, and you start analyzing it. Another big part of this comes from debugging. When code doesn't work, the first rule is simple: assume nothing. The problem could be anywhere. Maybe it's the code you just wrote. Maybe it's something written 6 months ago. Maybe it's a tiny typo hiding somewhere in thousands of lines of code. So engineers get used to questioning everything and testing every assumption. Over time, that habit sticks, even outside of programming. And there's another thing. Most software engineers naturally think in logical systems. If something doesn't line up logically, their brain immediately tries to resolve it. So when someone says something that sounds technically inaccurate, the instinct is to correct it, the same way you'd fix a bug in code. Not because the conversation needs to be won, but because the brain is trying to make the information consistent. Of course, sometimes that habit leaks into situations where accuracy isn't really the point, like casual conversations or small talk. And that's usually when people start thinking, why do they always need to be right? But most of the time, they're not trying to prove a point. Their brain just spotted something that doesn't quite make sense, and it automatically tries to resolve it. It's the same reflex that helps them find problems in code all day. The only difference is, now the bug just happened to show up in a conversation.